here we are. And, hey, Bren. Well, here it is, the thing I've been, well, that kind of what this has kind of been leading into. I'll admit, it's kind of weird finally getting to this. I think in a way I'd kind of been putting it off for a little bit just because I'd kind of been uncertain of how to, well, how I'd handle doing this. Yeah, I suppose Resident Evil Village is the big thing right now. Hopefully this will offer some variety. Yeah. I'll admit I've been kind of afraid that this game might break down. Like, I gave it the old turn-on test and I got this far, so I was satisfied with that. And I'll admit I've kind of been afraid that I might not like it for how long I've waited for it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the disc. Like, I gave it the old turn-on test is all I'm saying. Like, I've checked it, it's clean, like it's a 4-disc game, and thankfully they're all clean. I've just been, I don't know, anxious that, you know, waited so long and dropped so much money only for it to be nothing. But, well, I guess in the end I'm just gonna have to enjoy it. I've played all of the Panzer Dragoon games except for this one. I don't really know much about it except, well, a little bit that I picked up on when I played the sequel, which was Panzer Dragoon Orta. And now I dive into unknown territory. Here we go.
We do, Edge.
Nihil the incendia. Although some see goal.
Meliust prelidis, expert rule.
Tunes cognitum lua. Quid nostra defensio.
T.
Possetu cognitum.
The envetus. Enaivo and Purgus. Devon est Peltina and Penier.
Devonum est lutema.
Es. De Peltina in Penier. Tues nostem praestem. Noster defensio. Hec. Exceller in Pelnier. Se omnio aude gescalde.
From what I understand, this is a sequel, like, this is after 1 and 2.
Hostis? Liquor?
栄華を誇った文明が滅んで数千年。かつての力を失った人類は自らが生み出した遺伝子改造による生物兵器に脅かされつつ黄昏の時代を過ごしていた。だが失われた文明の力を借りた帝国が出現した時から再び時代は回り始めた。帝国の手によって発掘された9世紀の兵器は人類の生存を脅かす多数の巨大生物を撃退し、再び我らの時代が来たと人々を歓喜させた。しかし力は欲望を生み、欲望は戦乱を生む。帝国と同じく9世紀の力を手に入れた周辺国家との戦争は深刻化の一途をたどった。自らの優勢を保つため帝国は9世紀の遺跡の発掘を強引に進める一方で帝都に大規模な研究機関を設け、わずかずつではあるが古の時代の謎に迫ろうとしていた。
Prosit seda, Devon.
Arbo. The trader important. Owen. Pause the tema rebel prosit said.
Munikats! Muheoles Magwell Matthew! Yaxil!
Gada Awe. En a metos de Yena, Delka.
Kaz, Venia Deni. Kunipas. Action Velox.
Pick the good luck, senior! Pick loose! Now start down to Cascada! Ugal, Axelio, to Fugal, Edge! Dude! Ananta Dude is a continue!
Hello.
The Peninsula Island!
Yeah, no time to stare at the pretty lady.
Finish! Dragoon, finish! No, the gets killed! Christina, exit! Exit!
I'll say this, they've definitely put the effort into this. Oh.
Impenia? Suos! Nostra suos! Sus! Praia esque!
Stop. De Pertina Langis. Laos de Porus Resta.
De Nostra! Tana, Amo!
Tunges.
Laos is a baby!
Oh, fuck, we're a witness.
Jangles claiming. Let's float our Festina. Ushe Centuria Venire.
Peritus! Get here!
Well, roll credits, I guess? Ugh.
Prosit trasiva impeni. Transia postaris.
Oh, meanwhile... what's happening here? I'm guessing a nuke?
Icurium dera miliarium pars. Ie integrum medium civitas. Learteo univel, ringu sabta ricia. Lausving potentia fons. Prestim impota.
Pialitus e crimen. Nole motarsem impenia. Des diu Diolangius impenia banais. Dicia dev ergaterium. Impenia risur winter. Teliu diu atrefta.
Dena.
As I recall from the first game, Tower was bad
Nol
news.
gescerde baniara praia teriu. Seduva escatonaus gurigu origu.
Now, so yes, flying thrones are better than normal thrones. The one who controls the age. Oh. Now, if you must know. Right back. Well, I kind of wonder why they're asking. It might just be a file slot thing, but might not. Okay. Kind of wondering if the implication is that he did in fact die.
生きてる。助かったのか。早く上に戻らないと隊長たちが。
Got a feeling the captain's dead. Okay, now gameplay. Okay, shoulder buttons rotate the camera like that. Okay. Lock on activates with that. With A button, disengage with B. Okay, and it looks like Y tilts the camera up. Shell plate ×1. Okay, I guess that's kind of like a treasure chest. Handgun. An ancient gun with a dragon design. What's that down there? Elevator key. So... display map, show item list. Items that can be sold, items that cannot. Berserk list. Settings, okay, lock on. Okay, B will run. Okay, that'll be good. I was kind of wondering, we were getting a bit sluggish. Yeah, this is an RPG. That is kind of the big thing about this game, is that it is in fact an RPG. It's meant to do a lot more into the world of Panzer Dragoon. I guess I'll figure out more as I go on. Oh, one little piece of trivia. I think the dine is the money. Apparently, you get extra money when you start the game based on your playtime of Panzer Dragoon 2. So, yeah, I got a little bit of extra money up front. Okay, so, okay, I can run. I have a feeling something's going to happen when I press that down. So, okay, there's nothing over here. An elevator, it's locked and it won't move. I need to unlock it. Okay. Ride. I think you're talking about Legend of Dragoon there. Yeah, okay. Heading up. Oh boy, we've got company. not good. And it's got no ammo. That's not a fun time either. Maybe we can go down? Or maybe our ass can be saved. Are you a nice dragon? Yeah, and what is this about? Vision. I mean, I would immediately jump on that dragon if that happened to me. I mean, I ain't gonna argue with that. Yeah, the language is invented from, if I recall correctly, it's kind of made from a combination of Japanese, German, and Latin. At least that's what I vaguely recall reading somewhere. The excavation. Huh.
だいぶ流されたな。早く発掘所に戻らないと。だけどこのドラゴンどうやったら言うことを聞いてくれるんだろう。
Okay, so up and down on the control pad, ascends and descends. Rotate. Activates the targeting reticle, like on foot. Okay, and B pushes us forward. So okay, nothing here from the looks. Let's take a look. Okay, we got a line pushing up. Oh, okay, Okay, that activates a map. What is that? Stellarium. I guess I'll find context for what that does eventually. It's this. Access. Well, that doesn't seem to be doing anything. I guess that's something I'll figure out a little bit more as I go on. Field map. Okay, so... alright. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. RPG. I guess that's kind of like I guess the idea is that the dragon kind of connects with that and maybe gets a map of the area? Ooh, treasure chest. Dynast chip? You know what? Just for kicks, let's explore this other end of this canyon. Ooh, I get stuff from a distance. That's nice. Burbs. Oh, I'm gonna say so far, first impressions are decent. Controls are a bit, different. I think that kind of comes between the fact that, well, I mean, switching over to an RPG and, well, this is definitely a different presentation than what I'm used to with most RPGs of this era. Like, if I were to say one thing that is my usual expectation for RPGs of this era, it's usually like the Square Enix, you know, Final Fantasy style things like Final Fantasy or Chrono Cross or Parasite Eve. I've also played like Xenogears, and that was interesting because it had like fully 3D environments and the characters were 2D instead of the usual 3D characters on 2D backdrop, which was the norm for Square. I suppose there's also Paper Mario, though that's kind of an odd one. Access. An ancient device. Oh, so this is how we save for progress. Neat. Save game to eternal RAM. Alright. And I guess those other options are for if I had one of those memory cards. because this is where our mess started. A data storage capsule. All the valuable items are gone. There's not much left. Okay, got some kind of chip. You know, let's take a look at... Okay, well first let's take a look at our item list. Let's see. In this chip, ancient currency, no monetary value but can be exchanged for some money. Okay. Stellarium, an element used as a source of energy. Shell plate, shell plating used as armor for military weaponry. Okay. Let's see, soldier guide, a manual given to Imperial recruits. Handgun, a gun used in the ancient age. It looks like you can upgrade it. Elevator key, which we already used. Imperia coin. Let's see, can we use that? Regulation of Imperial troops' operations in the frontier. The uncivilized people of the frontier fear the ancient machines and subject them to their idiotic beliefs. Our duty is to locate the buried finds and return them to the rightful heir, His Highness. We will use the power of the Ancient Ones to cleanse the world of the monsters and return humans to their former glory. Expanding the Empire, including securing as many ruins and machines as possible, will achieve this goal. If anyone stands in your way, eliminate them. They resist out of ignorance. The Empire has a duty to protect them. We fight not to invade, but to teach the truth. The greater good depends on the completion of your mission. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, that kind of sounds about right for Imperial doctrine. No, you're doing it for the savages' own good. You know what? Let's take a look at... Okay, we don't have anything there. Can't work with our weapon. And I guess there's nothing we can do with that at the moment. Let's see. Oh. I'm willing to bet he's not having a good time.
隊長
生きてたのか。よく無事で。
隊長
早く行け。奴らは谷に沿って北へ向かってる。あの男、クレイメンたちを追え、本物の帝国軍が来る前に。
クレイメン誰なんです、そいつは。それになんで追わなきゃならないんです。
帝国の特務部隊、黒い艦隊を率いる男の話を聞いたことがある。おそらくは奴が。ここを見れば帝国は俺たちを疑う。あの発掘物を奪回する以外、お前の生き延びる方法はない。胸のポケット。そうだ。
隊長、これは。隊長？隊長？くそ。クレイメンめ。
Well, looks like we've been officially made the protagonist. Let's see. Oh. It looks like we get a little bit of a tutorial. Which, honestly, I'm kind of grateful for it, because this has kind of been an unorthodox experience so far. During battle, your attacks are dependent on this gauge. This gauge charges on its own. You can charge up to 3 gauges at one time. Anytime more than 1 gauge is charged, you can open the battle menu. Certain actions require more than 1 gauge to be charged. The dragon's normal attack requires only 1 gauge to fire. Edge's normal attack also requires only 1 gauge to fire, best used on individual enemies. Okay, so fire gun. Okay, and so then I select what target. Yeah, looks like they wanted me to go for this one. This item requires 1 full gauge to use an item. Open the battle menu, select items. Use the D-pad to highlight the item and press C. Some berserk techniques of the dragon's special attacks varies according to type, 1 to 3 gauges. Action may be taken at any time as long as the required gauges are charged. Let's try that again. Unused portions of the gauge are not lost. You may perform an action as soon as the required gauges are charged or wait and deliver a series of actions. Not displayed, enemies have gauges as well. Each enemy's gauge is charged at a different speed. Most enemies' actions differ depending on where your dragon is located when the enemy attacks. The battle radar shows where your dragon is located in relation to the enemy. Enemies will always appear in the center. The colors on the battle radar indicate the danger level of your enemy's attacks. For example, if your dragon remains in an uncolored area, the enemies will only use weak attacks. To evade danger, your dragon can move to the front, back, left, or right of any enemy. This is called positioning. Positioning can be done by moving left or right in 90-degree turns. Okay, so the D-pad does that. Positioning does not drain the gauge, so you may move at any time, but no charging occurs while positioning. Okay, so, yeah, it makes sense. A green area means that the enemy cannot attack in that direction, therefore this area is a temporary safe zone. Move to its front. Okay, that seems like a bad idea, but okay. A red area means that the enemy will deliver heavy damage if it attacks. That's a mighty bite. If you can can avoid the red area and stay in the green area, victory will be yours. Keep in mind that while positioning, the gauge will not increase, so the more time you spend moving around, the worse your ranking will be. Okay, so yeah, I guess this is one of those things where speed's a good idea. I'll admit, I wasn't entirely sure how they were going to have Panzer Dragoon's flying shooting mechanics translate into an RPG format, but this is looking good so far. An enemy's defensive ability varies according to which direction you attack from. Attacking weaker areas will cause more damage. Okay. This enemy has an average defensive rating from the front. Attack here and it will suffer average damage. To its right. Well, that's the left. Okay. Fire laser. The defensive rating on the sides is high, so attacking here causes little damage. But if we go from the rear... To inflict heavy damage, aim for an enemy's weak spot. This area is marked weak. Ah yeah, some nice blinking heck me here lights. There are also enemies that counterattack or dodge attacks from certain directions, or even enemies vulnerable from only one direction. As you can see, positioning is vital to dodging attacks and fighting effectively. Mastering this technique is key to ensuring your survival. Okay. Types of attacks and effects. Lasers. The dragon's normal attack shoots multiple lasers. The number of lasers shot at once is limited. The laser will only target the closest enemies, so although lasers can inflict more damage than Edge's gun, you cannot aim at a distant enemy. Lasers prove ineffective, however, against optic-resistant enemies. If you aim at optic-resistant enemies, anti-laser will be displayed. Let's see, gun, Edge's normal attack. Use the D-pad to aim the sight at a specific enemy. Concentrate your attack on a weakness or a single enemy. It is ineffective, however, against physically resistant enemies. If you aim at these type of enemies, anti-shot will be displayed. So, what's that deal with old red there in the background? He is an anti-laser thing. Well, let's shoot him. Insert the dragon's special attack. An enemy's defensive rating is nullified by this type of attack. It proves to be the most effective against enemies with high defensive ratings and large groups of weaker foes. Some techniques heal your dragon. Each berserk technique consumes a given amount of berserk points, BP. If you do not have the required BP, you cannot use the technique. Well. Okay, so in this case, we can't use Laser Storm, but we can use Holy Sphere. Nice. Effects vary according to type. Attack, deadly to nearby enemies, spiritual, affects all enemies. Agility, swarm small groups, defense, healing, and shields. Okay. Selections are made by command icons, but laser and gun attacks can be made with a single button press. sorry if this is boring you guys at all, but like, it is nice to get an idea of how this works. Abnormal status attack. I'm kind of hoping that at least seeing how this game works is interesting in some fashion. There are certain enemies that use special attacks to create abnormal conditions in your dragon status. On the radar, the red area indicates not only a high risk of great physical damage, but the potential of a special attack. Your dragon was hit with a special attack and paralyzed it. The status of your dragon is displayed here in the status display area. When the dragon is paralyzed, it cannot fire lasers or use its berserk technique. Your dragon can only reposition itself. Be aware that only the dragon's status is affected. Using items in the gun are Edge's actions, so these can be performed regardless of status. Okay. There's an item. Okay, that's weird to think of Revive being a stun cure, but I'll take it. Status eventually returns to normal over time, but you may use an item to restore status sooner. Here are the abnormal conditions other than stun. Poison does what poison does. Slow, gauge charges slowly. Stop. Dragon cannot move. Okay. Pain, defensive power decreases. Bind, only first gauge charges. Berserk classes. There are 6 total Berserk classes. 4 are earned through experience, and the remaining 2 are hidden. Attack class affects all enemies, delivering heavy damage to enemies nearby, but little damage to distant ones. And this is kind of telling us some of what was already told before, but it helps to know nonetheless. See, these spells are obtained by reaching a predetermined level. Spiritual class affects all enemies, inflicting full damage regardless of distance. These spells cause the same amount of damage to all attacking enemies. Very effective against groups, these spells are obtained simply by reaching a predetermined level. Defense class regains HP and casts shield spells. Healing spells can be cast with only 1 gauge full. These spells are obtained by reaching a predetermined level. Agility class affects multiple enemies and retreats from battle. Delivers the same number of attacks regardless of the number of enemies. Effective against smaller groups, these spells are obtained by reaching a predetermined level. There are 2 other classes, Full Gauge class and Extra class. I guess we'll have to find them if we can. Attacks in combination. An enemy's gauge can fill while you are moving your dragon. In this scenario, the enemy will attack as soon as you finish moving. If you press a button while positioning your dragon, the action will initiate before your enemies attack. This is called beating them to the punch. You can do this while an enemy or player is moving or attacking. When the gauges are full, if you want to perform attacks and combinations, initiate any action and immediately press a button to perform another. Learn this technique well and you will not only defeat enemies quickly, but will also prevent them from attacking. Okay. Alright, so that's kind of neat. They're like... obviously with the positioning there was going to be some additional element of action, but it's neat that they're including some stuff like this as well. Okay. Evaluation. When you win a battle, you will receive 1 of 5 rankings. The higher your rank, the more experience points you'll receive. Your ranking is based on how fast you defeat your enemies and how little damage you take. Here are the rankings. Excellent. Highest rank, full experience points, may also find an item. Great fight. Second highest rank. Good experience points. May also find an item. Good fight. Third highest rank. Average experience points. Close call. Only a minimal amount of experience points. And narrow escape. Only a minimal amount of experience points. Makes sense. Well, that was a good, thorough explanation. Okay, so before we go too far, what's in the magic thing? Telepathy shard. Provides the user with knowledge of its enemy's condition. Okay, so I guess that's like the, it's kind of like the equivalent of a Libra from Final Fantasy. Imperial piece of crap. I can shoot the things. What is these? I know we gotta go like save that girl and everything, but hey, let's see what's here. Ooh, treasure. Free action ×1. Cure stop condition. Okay. I thought that would be a thing that would like fill the action gauge or something, but okay. So wait, did that just put us out ahead a bit, or no? Let's... I think the idea is that that puts us on a little loop through a part of the map. And then... yeah! Okay, so yeah, that... we started, yeah, that took us between those little two icons there. Alright. I know it's dumb, but it's neat to just do a thing. Where does this go? It goes to treasure. There we go. Dynast ship. Okay, so more ancient currency. Ahead a little bit. Ooh, that actually had a thing. Elixir minor. I'm guessing that's a healing item. It replenishes HP by 200, which is half what we got. This shit. Ah. Sorry to hear that your internet's still doing terrible, man. Hope the dudes who are in charge of that actually, like, fix it. Ooh, that random card actually had a thing. What is Gara? Various types of rocks found near excavation sites. That is random. Wait. Jacket's lasers are too weak. We'll come back later. Huh, that actually pushed it into the cave. Wait. And I believe... Yep, field map. Let's go in there. More treasure. Elixir Medis. Okay, mine are Medis. Okay, yeah, okay, so even better potion, basically. Okay, so that took us back a bit from the looks of it. I found that kind of funny how that does kind of immediately take us over there. Now I do like how there is that. It, like, you know, if you want to go somewhere, you just basically point and click. You don't have to make a process out of it. But for now, let's go back in. Oh, we got a random encounter, I think. This feels like a random encounter. Against a Pattergo. We did it. Macro liquid. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that one just stay down to fit measles. Yeah, I haven't really seen the Dan versus stuff myself. Like, I'm kind of tangentially aware of it because of some stuff like Flufflepuff, but I haven't really gone into it myself. Okay, so we got a bit of a bestiary here. Nice. Data. Found in the valleys, these peaceful creatures feed on rocks and minerals. They travel in small communal groups. They can only attack to the front and have no natural defenses. Okay. And let's see what item we picked up. I'm having a little bit of a weird time because it seems for this game they primarily want you to use C as kind of the accept button instead of A. Which makes sense because it's kind of like pressing A on a Nintendo controller and the A is like the farthest on the side, but it's so weird. Let's see, the body fluids of a predator used in hydraulic movement. Oh jeez. Okay, there's the things that can blow up, and here's more enemies. Oh, more of these things. And a friend, from the looks of it. let's... Okay, so that heals. Let's... Okay, A enters kind of a direct aim, I guess, gun mode. Kind of easy stuff, but I guess that makes sense because they're trying to ease us into it. And again, this is kind of an unusual game. Like, it's kind of a thing of, it's not bad, it's just because it's unlike most RPGs I've played in terms of what it's immediately presenting. It just kind of takes a little while to get my head around it. Let's see, part of an excavation machine used to penetrate rock. I guess part of the thing is, I would say one thing that I'm kind of glad to realize is that, like, I mean, okay, I knew there was some positioning stuff to this, but I didn't realize it was to this degree. Like, I think I almost kind of expected a thing like Final Fantasy or whatever, or something where it would be more heavily turn-based. And while there is some aspect of you kind of pause things to select some of your actions, like, it feels different than most RPGs I've played. Last check. Single detonation. So I guess that's something like a grenade. Chugged for a bit there, and...
しまった！構成生物よけの風網か！
Okay, so we can't enter there. And you are shiny. An ancient device. Save. Okay. Much as I do want to go on, this probably is a good point to stop. Because it is late. I do want to keep going on, though that in itself is a good sign. Yeah. For now, though, I'm glad I finally took this first step. I look forward to seeing where else this goes. And, well, I hope to see you guys continue along this journey with me. And whenever that finishes, I might try starting a little bit earlier. I mean, can't do by too much because I do work late, but we'll see what happens on Sunday. Yeah. In the meantime, see you guys around, and good luck with whatever troubles are ailing you. See you around. And to answer that one quick thing. I don't know if it's considered greatest of all time, but I do know it is considered exceptional for its era. If nothing else, it's considered highly valuable. Yeah. See you around.